Monty, can you hear me? Like this? Or should I? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Is Hebrew okay? English?
Great.
Okay.
Great.
So hot.
Okay,
Finally.
great.
צרפתית.
Here in Tel Aviv, but yeah, that's okay. So thanks all for coming. Oh, I moved. So my name is Schor. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO of Codemonkey. We started Codemonkey officially in January 2014 and sold it officially to Cloud Education Group in China. Okay. In October 2018, so almost 5 years from launching the company to selling it, 4.5 years. And I tried to create some slides with bullet points of things that I thought worked for Codemonkey and things that didn't. So I'll go over them and try to leave as much as time for conversation, questions from the audience. So just a little bit of background for anyone who doesn't know, Codemonkey is a startup in the field of educational technologies, EdTech. And specifically inside the EdTech space, it is targeting young kids, aged 9 to 16, kids that don't have credit cards yet. That's a very large pain point. And also within that age group, we also ended up focusing on kids in classrooms, not in home scenarios. So that's another pain point. You're selling mainly to school, which everybody obviously know are very underfunded and hard to do business with. So it's a very, very tough battle to choose, but that was our focus. So this is what worked and what didn't. And the product teaches kids to code through an online game. Okay, so first thing that worked for us this time is the time when we started the company, which was 2014. We tried to start the company back in 2007. 2 out of the 3 co-founders that we had now, and that was a complete failure. So that was the first lesson. You know, timing is crucial. Back in 2007, no, there wasn't even the word EdTech, educational technologies, wasn't a thing around the VC community. Specifically, teaching kids to code was something that there was a niche of like forward-thinking people that cared about it already back then, but it was definitely a niche, not a trend, teaching kids to code. Whereas in 2014, EdTech became a thing. There were already, I don't know how much exactly, how much was invested in 2014 in EdTech startups, probably.
Globally?
Yeah,
1.4 billion.
1.4 billion, so it became a thing by then. And specifically teaching kids to code was at the peak of its hype, I think. I mean, was strongly trending in the United States in 2014. So that was a very good time to start the company, and that's when we managed to do it. So timing was very important. Place, was tempted to put place after time, but it's really, what I mean by place is sort of the first partnerships that we established. Like I said, the audience that we were targeting was kids and teachers in classrooms. That's not an audience that it's easy to target, or at least it's not the common growth challenge for a software startup. And the way we managed to get tons of free exposure is by forming content partnerships with 2 very large organizations in this field of K-12 education in the United States. The first one is Code.org, which is an American nonprofit advocating the importance of computer science education for children. They created a website aggregating all kind of free tutorials that teachers and parents can try with their kids to do what they call an hour of code, like to get a taste of computer science education for free. So we created the free version of Codemonkey for that. And once they published this on their website, it was like 1 million new users in 1 week, and that was just like a few months after we started the company, so it was very exciting, and it really helped generating the initial awareness for our brand. And the other partnership, the one that came right after, is with BrainPop. That's originally an Israeli company, but it's working out of New York City mainly, also Tel Aviv, but the main office is in New York. And they sell, it's like sort of a Netflix for schools. Started 2 decades before Netflix, but it's an online website with lots of video content for teachers to show students, animated cartoons on any subject that you might want to teach in an elementary school. And they wanted to create, given this trend of teaching kids to code, they wanted to also to create like a collection of coding games for kids. So Codemonkey was one of them, the free version of Codemonkey, and again, they have 25% of the schools in the United States as their active paying subscribers. So once we got on that website, instantly, I remember the first time traveling to New York after creating this partnership. And everybody know Codemonkey, it's amazing. Like, we didn't spend a dime yet on marketing, but you visit a doctor in New York, oh, you're Codemonkey, my kids play that in school. So really, that was really amazing for us. What also helped creating this very quick and high awareness to the brand within our target community, I think was having a clear edge, because the trend was already strong in 2014, so obviously we were not first. There were a bunch of coding games for kids by then online, but Codemonkey had a very clear edge, very clear differentiator, and what it was, all the other games for kids in our target age group were doing not actual coding, but drag and drop block puzzle that simulate programmatic thinking for kids. And Codemonkey was the first game to offer real coding in a real text-based programming language, a derivative of JavaScript for kids, and by better execution also make that even more engaging for kids, despite being maybe more challenging. So it put us in a very clear position, like Codemonkey is the real coding game for kids, like the game where you do real coding. And on top of that, some choices that we made in the brand design, having a very clear, very catchy name, a very catchy character as a logo, the monkey character, and the trailer that I'm going to show now, I think really helped creating this sticky brand experience that made really everybody feel instantly that, oh yeah, I know Codemonkey, it's famous. Okay. So that's the video. So it's just like a collection of scenes from the game edited with this sort of type of music. It was very cheap to create during the bootstrap period. We hardly had any funding, and it was very helpful, especially in events like this when showing this in competitions. It was very effective. What else? So again, PR. It's important to mention that EdTech is extremely hard for fundraising, like significant funding from VCs, especially in Israel, and especially when you're targeting schools and young kids. So those are all things that we could do without any funding or without significant funding. So in terms of PR, simply winning, like leveraging the fact that we have like a sticky brand and a very good game experience. It was easy for us to win all the important competition in this space of EdTech, educational technologies. and winning the best reviews. So, for example, this one. If you're not in the space, there's no reason for you to know it. But if you're an American teacher, Common Sense Media is where you go to read reviews about educational technologies for schools. And for example, our main competitor, Tinker, a Silicon Valley-based company with aggressive funding that started 2 years ahead of us, like we had a higher score than them on Common Sense Media, so that's very helpful in the sales pitch. Like we're the better product, despite having much less funding, being a younger company, smaller team, and all those other mentions and competition that we won. So that was another useful growth hack. Besides of PR, so if you have kids in Israel going to school, you've probably seen them play Codemonkey. We managed to win a government deal very early during the first year of Codemonkey. The second year of Codemonkey, but we managed to create a national coding Olympics, like a coding competition between schools hosted on the Codemonkey platform. And that was very helpful in two ways. One way is it generated significant early revenue for the company. And again, since EdTech is hard for fundraising, that was very useful. Having this early flow of significant revenue enabled a longer runway despite the difficulties in raising funds. And the other important value coming out of the huge local success, really, it's like every kid in Israel in that age group knows Codemonkey, plays Codemonkey, kids dressed like the monkey, Purim in Israel became like extremely popular in Israel. Through the kids, it got to the parents, and Israel, as you probably all know, is an amazing hub for international startup companies. So I think this strong success in Israel led to a lot of accelerated sort of global networking through Israelis doing businesses in other countries.
Some question, what is the business model? How you start to
we're
generate the money?
selling an annual subscription for classrooms, schools, teachers, and parents. That's for the pre-learning. Okay, yeah. Sorry. So the success in Israel turned out to be also very helpful in sort of accelerating our global go-to-market efforts through those Israeli startup ecosystem and this community. And the last point really ties to the ultimate goal of Codemonkey as a product, the pain that it's trying to solve. And again, back to the problem of the early challenge in raising significant funds for an EdTech startup. So the fact that we were 3 co-founders, 3 childhood friend co-founders, there's a picture here, that's us when we were young, that were all coders. So that allowed us to do amazing stuff in the first year, just sitting and coding ourselves. And I remember after relocating to New York and starting to do business development for Codemonkey there, like people were amazed. They thought Codemonkey is a team of 20 people, like judging by the product. I remember our main competitors, Silicon Valley-based startups, they created about the same volume of technology and content, but they had it cost them like triple or more than that, simply because they had to hire all those expensive developers back there, and we could just do everything ourselves the first year. So that was also very helpful. Yeah, how much time do we have? 5 minutes? Oh, yeah, so I won't read through those points. What didn't work, I'll just, if there are any questions from the crowd, let's use the time left.
I have a question actually about the first one. So
Yeah.
you think that if you wouldn't have raised money from VCs, you would have been successful and maybe even more? That's what you...
I think we were not a good fit for VCs for many different reasons. The space, the team, the location, like there are no suitable EdTech VCs in Israel, and the EdTech VCs in the United States are looking for American startups mainly. a more American founding team. I don't know. We realized pretty early that it's a waste of our time, so we stopped trying, and we're not sorry. Like,
Oh, you didn't raise money from VCs?
we didn't, and that was good actually, because I think eventually now that we sold the company, you know, the acquisition was very positive for all the shareholders and the founders. It was a very good deal, but if we had a VC on board, maybe we wouldn't have allowed it. Yeah.
But did you have angel investment as well?
Yeah, angel investment, impact investors, strategic investors.
One more question.
Of the things that did work for you this time, how many of them are lesson learned from the previous time in 2007?
So 2007 we failed very early. Like, we didn't manage to secure funding. Then 2008 came with a financial crunch, and we
Still, a year that you have
So
worked
what
on
we
your own
learned
business.
mainly in 2007 is the difficulty in raising money for an education startup from VCs. That was the main lesson from 2007.
And then you took it for an early deal here in Israel with 2014.
The early deal for funding.
Early deal with the Ministry of Education.
Probably also thanks to that lesson learned in 2007. Yeah.
One more question.
One more question.
Can you please elaborate about the B2C versus B2B and why you choose B2B?
That's a good question. So the main point here is that you need to choose. That's what we learned very quickly. You can't do both at the same time, even though it appears like that it's almost the same product for a classroom and for home usage, but it's not. And it's definitely not the same go-to-market strategy. So, and a small team, modestly funded. So the main point here is that you need to choose your battle. You
Why
can't
did you
do.
choose B2B?
We chose B2B until today. I can't say that was the better choice, but we had this early success with the government in Israel. So we sort of, you know, led into that. Like, oh, we're already successful with teachers in classrooms. Let's build on that. Sorry, talk later.
All right.